I never wanted to, like, be too much for anything.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, like, women are told that they shouldn't be too much for anything, and that, like, we should be quiet and, you know, not say too much and, like, be sort of, like, no.
That's fair, because, like, assertive, I guess women, even nowadays, they're seen as more, I don't know what the word would be, but, like, I guess domineering in a way?
Like, it's, like it's a bad thing to be,
like, there's such a negative stigma associated with it.
Absolutely, and I think I was very fearful of that, especially growing up. And so then, whenever I got here and I found a lot of the women that I surround myself with that, like, are my very good friends, are all very loud and opinionated, and, you know, like, we do not shy away from how we feel about stuff. Mm-hmm. And that was, like, huge for me to see that. And I mean, in high school I had that as well, but it was like, I was, like, mocked a bit for it. And then I got to college and I was celebrated for it. And, that was huge. Like, that was huge for me. And then, so becoming a filmmaker and, like, all of that, I feel like I have, like, found an area where I can sort of, like, I can say what I think about things and I can be respected for how I feel about them.
Absolutely. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Survivor Carolina Talk Show. As always, I'm your host, Mihir, and we are officially at episode 10, our final episode of the semester, or the year even, which is definitely very bittersweet. It's been a crazy past few months. Exciting, but crazy. And I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for supporting the show and getting it, again, to where it is now. And also, just as a little side note, I really, really value you guys' feedback. So I encourage you all to just sort of let me know, I guess, how I can improve the show, what you would like to see going forward. And, you know, just in general, don't be afraid to reach out to me directly or even just drop a comment or two in, like, some of the videos I've had in the past. That would really help the show out a lot. And, again, I hope you all have been enjoying my content, and, you know, just I want to wish you all a very, very happy holidays. And as a little holiday gift to you, before we officially get to the Christmas time, I wanted to bring in one final guest, someone very, very special. She is actually our amazing vice president of Survivor Carolina and is one of the most hardworking people I've ever met in my entire life. Joining me in the studio today is Miss Alexis Powell.
Hi. That was very nice.
Yeah, I've been trying to get my intros to be better and better. I don't know if you saw the last one, but I was glazing the shit out of Jake for my intro, but
he does not need his ego boosted anymore than
I found that out the hard way last time, but it's awesome to have you here, first of all.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. So I guess, you know, we'll just start off with, like, just how things have been going for you. You know, this final season been rough?
Okay, yeah. No, final season has been pretty chill. I've been sort of just, like, working a lot and haven't had too much going on. I'm a senior, so for the people, I'm a senior. And so I'm, like, I've had a pretty chill. I'm also not a STEM major, so, like, that's helpful as well. But yeah, so I've been chilling for the most part. I had a presentation this morning.
Okay, I mean, how did it go?
Went well. Went well. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
I mean, I'm a senior as well, so I'm in the same boat as you. So I know the. It's not really the grind, but, you know, the fact that school's almost over is pretty surreal. So I guess we could start this off with just the question that I ask everyone, which is sort of a little bit about, like, your background, you know, what you were like growing up, and just, I guess, what led you to Survivor. I mean, if you've always been a fan, or, you know, if this is something just you found out about recently.
Yeah, so I am from, like, North Carolina. I was never really I've always loved, like, film and movies and TV and, all of that. Like, I've had a passion for and a love for those things, like, my whole entire life. And, but I was never really into Survivor, which I know is, like, I think I'm probably the only person you've had on the show that's, like, not a big fan of Survivor. I, like, obviously knew about it growing up, like, everybody, I think, knew about Survivor growing up. I don't know anybody that doesn't know what Survivor is, unless, like, you, like, live under a rock. Yeah, basically. Like, I don't know. But yeah, so I was aware of Survivor, but I wasn't really into it. I was like, I like would like see the ads for it while I was watching like NCIS with my dad, but like I didn't really watch the show. And then I got a little bit more into reality TV once I got into college. Like I started watching like Love Island and like Too Hot to Handle and like those sorts of
like the dating shows.
Yeah, like the dating shows. I liked the dating shows. Shout out Leah Kateb. Anyways, yeah, like I got more into reality TV, but I also really got into and started to like develop a passion for film creation and for storytelling. That was like like I said, always had like a deep interest in that, and I loved storytelling as well. I loved books, I loved writing, but I like never really figured out like how to like channel that into something productive. And then I think getting into college, I was able to explore like what producing like video content looks like, and especially with film. And there was the minor that I was always really interested in that I'm now a part of is like writing for the screen and stage. So I have a lot of background and experience in script writing. And then I found the media and journalism major at UNC, and that really directed me towards like creating content, like visual content, and like producing my own visual media. Like I started to, get way more acquainted and familiarized with, filming and all of the, and editing and all of the stuff that goes into that. And then I met Jake my sophomore year, and me and him had like mutual friends, and he came to me with this idea about how he wanted to like make a Survivor club, and I thought he was insane. I was like, that's never gonna work, but like, yeah, we can do it. Like I was like, yeah, sure, like no big deal. I didn't think he was serious, but I was like, he was like, would you do this with me? And I was like, I mean, yeah, like theoretically, like I would do it with you. I had known him for like a solid 3 months at that point, so it was.
And he just flung that idea.
It was a real. I mean, I had known him. Actually, I had known him a little longer than that, but like we hadn't really been like close friends, but for like 3 months.
Right.
And then he was just like, yeah, like, I could really use somebody who has like experience in all of this, and like I have no idea what I'm doing. Like I barely know how to like edit or anything, and I knew how to do that stuff. And so we went into, so like I just sort of like jumped in, and then he was like, oh, I want to do it like next semester. This was like December of like 2023. And then he was like, I want to do it next semester. And I was like, oh, okay. Or 20, I don't remember what year. Anyways,
I think it might have been, first season was, I think it was early 2023 if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Something like that.
I think, yeah. So it was 2022.
Yeah.
No, that's not right. 2022 was whenever I was a freshman. So it would be 2023.
2023?
Yeah. And then we filmed in beginning of 2024.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And then 2025, and then this. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
You can cut that out. Anyways. Yeah. So it was like beginning of like, it was like end of 2023 in December, and then he was like, yeah, I want to do it next semester. And I was like, oh, okay. So we just jumped right in. We started like, like he sent out stuff like beginning in January, and we like got a bunch of applications, and we started doing the whole thing. And I didn't take it seriously for like a solid month into it. I was like, there's no way. Like I was like, it was fun, and I loved it, and I was like having a good time with it. But like I didn't like treat it like with like I think how I treat it now is like very different from how I treated it back then. I was like, oh, this is like a bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I'm doing this for the bit. And then I feel like me and Jake had like a conversation, and like we like sort of like talked about it, and he was like, I like think that this could be like something really great, and I think we're doing something like really cool with this. And I liked it a lot. And then I think after that, like, I just was, like, so bought in, and I've been bought in ever since.
Yeah, awesome. And kind of to your point earlier, you said that you didn't really have a whole lot of, like, Survivor knowledge coming into, like, production. So was that sort of, I guess you could say, like, as you were filming, like, season after season, did you sort of, like, start watching more Survivor, or has it just mostly just been, like, all right, I'll sort of go with the flow and, like, see sort of what happens, and like in the process I might sort of learn a bit more about like Survivor?
So I still do not really watch Survivor. I tried to watch it a couple times. I like just didn't really get into it very much. I don't really know why. Like I love our show, and like I find our show really entertaining, so I don't really know what the difference is. Maybe I'll like come to it eventually. But like, so I never really watched it. I did pick up on things though, like pretty quickly. I feel like I learned things pretty fast.
Yeah.
And so people, there are certain names that people reference all the time, like Parvati and, oh my gosh, what's her name? The one that everybody talks about. Her name, is it like a C?
Kelly Wentworth?
No. It's like, she won. I think.
Female winner that starts with a C.
It could not be a C. It was like
Suri?
Suri. Andy.
You got Andy from me.
I did get Andy from you. You and Xavier. I got Andy from you and Xavier. Boston Rob, Amber. So, others I like picked up on a lot of these players. Johnny
Fairplay.
Johnny Fairplay. Yeah, he follows the Instagram. Shout out to Johnny Fairplay.
I was gonna say there was also that Survivor event like, last year, a few years ago.
Yeah, that was at the beginning of the second season. We we had like the Survivor event where a bunch of the players came, and I felt like I learned a lot about the players and stuff like that at that event. That was really cool. Yeah, but I was just like, I was interested in like the production aspect of it, of like creating this content and this entertainment, and that's always been my focus, is making an entertaining show. And I feel like I was able to pick up on like what Survivor entails from just like the context clues and from like what the vision of the show was. And when I feel like everybody around me was like talking about how Survivor was as a show, I feel like the concept of Survivor is pretty fundamental to understand. And I think I picked up on it pretty quickly, and I do feel like very passionate about like making the show as like close to the real Survivor as it can be, even though obviously like I don't watch the real Survivor. I still like want the show to be good in the same way that show was good.
Yeah, I will say it's pretty damn close to the actual show for the most part. Like, we got pretty much, like, the main format down.
Yeah, the fundamentals.
Pretty much, yeah. And so I guess earlier on, did you have, like, what were your sort of, like, expectations for the club? Because, it's pretty well known now in, like, UNC. So, I mean, did you sort of expect it to, like, boom in popularity as much, or...?
I did not realize how vast the Survivor community was. I had no idea, and I was honestly amazed at how much interest there was in the club whenever it first started. I think after that first season, though, and after like how much interest we got so quickly, I think my expectations were sort of set, and then like since then I've just been like, so I haven't been surprised, but I've been like really proud to see us grow, and like see us like sort of like get things down, and you know what I mean, and like all of that stuff. I've been really like proud of that, but I haven't been surprised anymore. I was sort of like that initial surprise was like I just didn't realize how popular this stuff was, which I should have, because like these are like some of the most popular shows on TV. You know what I mean? Like Big Brother, Survivor, all of that stuff. Like everybody watches that shit. Yeah. Your fucking grandparents watch that. Sorry, I don't know if I can cuss.
Oh, you can swear all the time. Jake went ballistic last time, so like.
Your grandparents watch that shit like all the time, so it's like, like of course people are gonna love it, and I just like didn't. I think I underestimated Survivor, and then I've learned my lesson. That's for sure.
Yeah, it is like you said, it's a very, very popular show, and UNC in particular, I've also found that like a lot of people here are really obsessed with the show. Mm-hmm. So I think it was great that you were sort of able to, I don't know if like capitalize is the right word, but just sort of like lean into that and get all these people together. So I guess sort of moving on from that, in terms of the actual like logistics of like managing the show itself, you did talk a lot about like production and like filming and all that. Do you sort of have like a hand in terms of like casting people and like interacting with like the players and all that?
I do. Yeah, I do. So I helped, me and Jake casted the first initial season together, just the two of us. Mm-hmm. We got a little bit of input from another friend of ours who was sort of around when we were first starting the club, but sort of dissipated out because it wasn't really her thing. She was just sort of like helping us get started. But really just like the two of us sort of casted the first season off of like, I think Jake had like an idea in mind of who he wanted, and I was going off of, okay, we need people with big personalities, people who will be dramatic, who will be messy, because I was just going off of my reality TV knowledge, and I was like, and I'm also a very strongly opinionated person, just like in general, like I can be quite judgy, and I am a very strongly opinionated person, so I form opinions pretty quickly. And we, did these interviews and I was just like, if I thought someone would be entertaining on the show, I was like, yes. And if I thought someone would be boring, I was like, no. And that was that. And then I think it was kind of like a trial and error thing. I really got to know the cast like really quickly. I feel like it becomes like with the cast, because especially in those first 2 seasons, I was interacting with the cast like so much. Like I was talking to them all the time. And then even in this last season, I've still had like so much interaction with the cast. That's like such an important part of my job because I am scheduling all of the events. And so I have to be in constant communication with them about their schedules and what they're doing, and like reminding them to schedule confessionals, and like I'm like a mother, I'm constantly being like, yeah, you have to do this, like
it's your job,
it is my job. It is my job. I like it, don't get me wrong, like I'm not like upset about it, but yeah, and also like if I didn't do it, Jake sure as hell wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah, no one was gonna do it at that point.
Yeah, no, and then I was just like, but I think I got really good at it really quickly, and I really enjoy like the conversation because I feel like you get to know people really quickly, and I do love that aspect of like getting to interact with the cast because I feel like that has like helped me like first of all be much better at like communicating with people I don't know very well, because I sort of have to be like direct and concise and like clear about my expectations with the cast, and also I like have made friends with them at the same time. So, like, you can still be, like, big personality and all that stuff and, like, get the job done. So, yeah, that is my job.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess sort of going off of that, I mean, you kind of touched on this a little earlier, but, like, what would you say is, I guess, holistically the most challenging part of, like, managing, like, a whole-ass production crew, pretty much?
Yeah, God.
There's too many to choose from.
There's a lot of challenges that come along with that. I think this is a production full of people that care a lot about what we're making. And I am so grateful for that. Like, that is, like, my number one thing is the fact that, like, people just really care a lot about what we're doing. And the cast, cares a lot about the game they're playing, hopefully, most of the time. Sometimes they don't.
Some more than others. But.
Some more than others, yeah. But most of the time, they really care about the game. And that passion is, like, so crucial to what we do. Because I feel like if people didn't give a fuck, then, like, it's not fun.
Yeah.
But also, what comes with that passion is, I'm a strongly opinionated person, so is everybody else.
Yeah,
okay?
So there's going to be a little conflict from time to time.
Yeah, so I, like, have, like, had to, like, I think as far as, like, the actual production stuff, that came really easily to me, like, the filming setups and how we filmed the show and, how, like, I feel like challenge design, that's not really my thing, but I would then, like, I felt like once the challenge was explained to me, I could, like, see it in my head how I wanted it to be shot, and that just came to me, like, really quickly. I never really struggled with that. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it was, like, difficult to, like, figure it out, like, in the moment at times, because sometimes things get changed really quickly, so you sort of have to, like, think on your feet. But other than that, like, I've always felt like the filming aspect was, like, pretty simple and straightforward, at least for my brain. I've always been able to, like, visualize how I want something to be seen. And then as far as and same thing for editing, I think editing is frustrating and annoying and, like, really, like, and tedious, but I've never struggled necessarily with, like, the actual act of doing the editing, because I've always, like, felt like I could see the episode playing out in my head.
Yeah.
I have seen a couple episodes of Survivor because I do model them after the actual episodes. And I think I do a decent job.
Yeah, it's pretty, season 1 has been pretty close, I would say, to the actual show.
Thank you. Shout out to the 2 episodes I edited from season 1.
What were the 2 episodes?
It was episodes 3 and episode 8.
3
were the 2
and
episodes.
8.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those are Yeah, I remember those.
Thank you. Yeah, so I like that all of that came pretty simple. Sorry, I like stuttered over my words.
No, you're good.
Yeah, and then the managing of the personalities, I think, and like dealing with sort of the conflicts that come, because obviously, you know, cast gets upset with like the way that the game is going if it's not going their way, or and there's always like concerns from cast about like, you know, what is this challenge, like what are, like I didn't feel like this was fair, or da da da, and like you sort of have to manage those sorts of sentiments and like be clear that like we are doing all that we can on the production aspect to make the game as like you know, entertainment is like our top priority, but two, like safe and equitable, and like fair, everybody, like everybody has a clear chance. Like that is like our number one. That is a very strong priority for us, and I think managing that has been difficult. And then also on the production side, a similar thing of like, you know, people have big opinions about what they want this show to be, and I think you want everybody to feel heard, and you want everybody to feel like they're contributing and like they are like a part of the decision-making process, because everyone in this club wants to make the show great,
right? And
everybody wants to be able to have some input, and yeah, that's why we have like the club set up kind of the way we do. I don't know if I need to like go into that. But,
like, no, I mean like yeah. So I mean, it sounds like mostly a lot of the, I don't know, I guess a lot of the challenges would be sort of in like the social aspect of the game, or the like production and all that, just sort of managing people. I guess in that sense, I think one of the biggest things, at least from what I've seen, that could lead to players and in some cases prod getting frustrated are like twists that are implemented. Because like if you know Survivor fans in general, like the one thing we Survivor fans love to complain about are twists. Even if they're semi-decent twists, like we will go down a barrel just complaining about them. So I guess the next sort of like thing I was curious about was I guess the extent of like your power when it comes to like implementing twists and like things that I guess could affect gameplay.
I have no say in that.
This is straightforward.
I have literally no say in that. I don't decide what twists are implemented. I don't decide when they're implemented. I don't decide anything to do with that. I do get all of the complaints though, so that's super fun.
Yeah, I mean, have there been any twists that you were like particularly frustrated with, or?
Let me think. I don't remember all of the twists that we've had. I know I was weary of us tribe swapping at the beginning of this season. I don't know if I can give spoilers, actually.
I mean, yeah, as long as they're super vague. Like,
okay,
you know,
yeah. I was okay, but yeah, tribe swap at the beginning of the season isn't too
I mean,
revealing.
it's pretty much a given. Like, you know,
there is a tribe swap this season. Oops, my bad. Anyways, okay. So tribe swap at the beginning of this season, I was weary of it because of when it happened. And because I felt like I really loved the dynamics that we were seeing on the tribes at the time before the tribe swap. So I was just like, I wasn't convinced. And then I feel like it played out in a way that, you know, really worked for the show. So I think at the end of the day, like, you know, there's no issues there. Like, I think that's why it's not my area to design that. And then I think in season 2, there were definitely some twists as well that I was like, I don't know about all this. There were some that like, oh my gosh, there was one in season 1. This has come out, so I can talk about this.
Yeah.
So Saoirse and Dennis are like, they were given Jake, like, this was like a last minute thing that Jake came up with.
Oh, was it the idol clues?
Yes, the idol clues. And he came up with it like the day before because he was like, this game is boring, like we need to do something to like mix it up. And I was like, okay. So he like, they were still on separate tribes at that time, and he was like, okay, pick 2 people, and then they both received an idol clue. And they like got the same idol clue, and then they could either like work together with each other to like figure out how to like use the idol clue, or they could like just sort of take it and run with it, or, you know, whatever. They could like go on idol hunts, etc. And instead, like, it just completely failed. Like, there was nothing interesting that came from it. All it did was just, like, put an idol clue into the game. Like, everybody saw the clue because, like, both people sent it to their tribes. And so everyone saw the clue. And then somebody that was not those two people ended up finding that idol.
Yeah.
Lucas found the idol. So then it was like, what was the point of this?
Yeah.
Like, it didn't work.
I will say it did give us that epic line from Saoirse. She's all like, Dennis, who's dumb as shit.
That is really good. Her hatred of him was truly hilarious. But, yeah, no, that was just like, I was just like, what are we doing? Like, this is so bad. Yeah, but I don't make those decisions, and I'm kind of happy that I don't have control over that, because I have enough pressure on me as it is.
That's fair. And I guess, like, another thing that, I've talked about this a lot with, like, some of the other people I've interviewed, but one big thing I think when it comes to production is, I guess, leaking information, because, like, that's a huge part of, like, the integrity of the game. So, I guess in your situation, were there ever times where you felt like, maybe not, like, tempted per se, but, like, you might have, had, like, sort of a little bias towards, like, a given player, and...
Oh, yeah.
maybe try
only
to, like,
every season. Like...
Oh, yeah, every season, but, like, to the point where it's, like, you're maybe trying to, like, nudge him and be all like, hey, you might be getting voted out tonight.
No. I have thought about it, but no, I've never done that. That ruins the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that totally ruins the fun of the show. Like, so much of, like, what I love about it is sort of, like, the secrecy. That's part of what I love of production, because I love to keep a secret. I love knowing things that other people don't know about. It's great. I love secrets. Yeah. I don't really know why. Maybe I just, like, like being on the inside of things. But it, like, is, like... I like would know, we always know the votes, I think, before going into the episode, and, obviously, like, or before going into Tribal, but I think, like, there have obviously been some heartbreakers, like, I was, like, so, and there have actually been some surprises, like, from season 1, that's out, Sadie, when she was voted off, I had no idea that was happening.
Yeah, that was an absolute clusterfuck of a Tribal,
yes,
too.
I was, like, I had literally no idea that shit was happening, and I was, like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Sadie was my favorite person on the show at the time.
Yeah, she's my favorite, too.
She's, like, I think she should be everybody's favorite. She was such an icon in season 1, like, truly, like, a legendary Survivor Carolina player.
Future Survivor player?
Future Survivor player. She would do it. Anyways, she was, like, insane, and so I was just, like, I was so sad, and I wasn't there. That was, like, one of the only events that I missed that season. I think that was the only Tribal I missed that season, and I'm pretty sure that was the only...
You picked a good one to miss, too.
Yeah. But I was just, like, I was so frustrated whenever she was voted off. There was another time where there have been times where, like, players have so much trust in, like, other players in the game, and I know that they should not trust them nearly as much as they do.
Yeah, but you can't say anything
But you can't say anything. I do think when I do confessionals, I, like, try to, like, ask them questions so that way they're thinking about every aspect and every side of the game. Like, they're thinking about people they wouldn't normally think about. Or I ask them, like, do you really trust this person that you claim to trust? Can you really trust them if they're doing this? Like, I try to prompt them to, like, not necessarily to, like, get them to think about things and, like, get them to think about, like, something that's going on. But I try to, like, and I wouldn't really consider it a warning of any kind, but I want to prompt them to think, like, on all sides of things, because I think sometimes people, like, don't realize that, like, there's something right in front of them that they're missing, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think it's important to, like, have a well-rounded show. You want to make sure that everybody's seeing everything that they can see, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's a delicate balance. That is a delicate balance. But I don't think I've never spoiled anything for a player. Yeah, I mean, in season 1, we were a little bit more loose-lipped whenever it came to the jury. I think we told them a bit more than we should have whenever they were voted off, because pre-jurors, like, it's okay if they know stuff about the game. Jury members really shouldn't.
Right.
But season 1, we were, like, so excited that we were like, oh my god, you were, like, burned, like...
Yeah, and it was your first time doing it, too, so, like, obviously,
Yeah, mistakes were made, but it's okay. We don't do that anymore, guys. We're way more professional now, so, yeah.
But yeah, so, I mean, like, I guess that's sort of been everything from, like, the sense of, like, filming Survivor, per se. Now, for those of you who don't know, Alexis actually has sort of passion project, Daisy Wallflower Productions. I kind of wanted to give you a little opportunity to do a little shameless plug.
Oh shit! Okay.
So yeah, I was just a little curious about like what what Daisy Wallflower Productions is, and I guess sort of like its history.
Yes, absolutely. So I love talking about this. Oh my god, I love this question. Sorry. Okay. So Daisy Wallflower Productions is a production company that me and my good friend Mirabella Petruzzi, we started it together. We have produced and created and now released one film. It's a short film called May the Best Man Win, out on YouTube.
It was there for the premiere.
Yes, we had a film premiere at Varsity Theater on Franklin Street, and it was really exciting and such like a wonderful and like really fulfilling experience. I think Survivor is like for a long time been like my big creative outlet whenever it comes to my film production stuff, and this was like something that I think I got to like really make, you know what I mean? I think in Survivor that's a big, we all work together.
Yeah, it's like a group,
you know what I mean?
thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with this movie, my friend and business partner, my friend and creative partner Mirabella, she wrote the script for May the Best Man Win, and it was something that we sort of worked on together. She like came to me with the idea like so long ago, and like we laughed about it, and like it was like barely a script, and it was an idea that we like chuckled about in her room for an hour. Like we could not stop laughing. And then like she sort of like she really worked hard on like making it into like a real script, and then we really worked hard on like editing it and like bringing it into like a short film format and making it something that we could actually create. And then we did it, and it was something that like I did not think that I would do in my time at Carolina. I thought like I had applied for I had like done stuff with the Student Film Association for Carolina before. I had done like production assisting on other short films, and I don't think I ever submitted a script, but I had like considered submitting a script. I had done script review for the Carolina Film Association, but it was just like absolutely no hate to the Carolina Film Association. They're a very wonderful organization who help students, bring their creative projects to life. But I think for me, I felt like I didn't really have like a strong say in what I like, and like, or I could see that I think obviously people like had a lot of creative freedom whenever they're like actually creating something, but
right.
like what gets produced and what gets like allowed to be made through CFA and go through that whole process is very limited. They're very picky and choosy, and that's totally fine. But for me and and they also have like a very certain kind of like film that they like to create. And rom-coms aren't really one of them, so which is what May the Best Man Win is. And so we wanted to do something that was fun and just kind of for us, and so that's what we did. And I'm really proud of it. It's probably the thing I am most proud of from my time at UNC. I love Survivor, and I'm like so incredibly grateful for like all that it has given me and all that I've done with it. But this was something that I like made on my own, and I did not think I could do it, and then I did. So like I felt like I could. I never doubted that I could do Survivor. You know what I mean? Like
right.
That was something that like, but this was like a real challenge to get made, and I'm very proud of myself for what I did. So if you would like to watch, it's available on YouTube.
Put a link in the description below.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's awesome. So it's sort of like your, I guess, signature work, I guess you could say, to sort of start off like your film career, if you will.
We'll see.
So I guess with that being said, what would be like your main, I guess, takeaways from, I guess not even just Survivor Carolina, just your experience as like a filmmaker?
What do you mean by main takeaways? Like in what way?
I guess like what what your like journey has taught you so far. I guess about like yourself, or the work that you do, or about the world, just anything overall.
I might go into a little feminist rant, so apologies.
That is why I brought you here.
I think I have spent like a lot of my life being a I've always been a very passionate person, and I've always cared a lot about the things that I get really excited and interested about things, like, and then I, like, sort of obsess over them. And that it took me a long time to find, like, a community of people that sort of related to that. I think I found that whenever I got to college with my friends, and then also with Survivor, like, and obviously Survivor is my friends. That's my family. I love Survivor. But, like, you know, all of us, I think, have this sort of, like, tendency to, like, really obsess over the things that we love. And that sort of community was really, like, it made me feel safe to sort of, like, be vocal and how I felt about stuff. Like, I think for a really long time I was, like, very afraid of, like, being loud and, like, presenting my opinions and being I would lacked a lot of confidence whenever it came to what I wanted, which I think is sort of, like, kind of insane considering how I am now. Like,
I was gonna say, like, a full 180.
Yeah, like, I'm very sure of myself now, maybe a little too sure. Anyways, yeah, but I was very, like, I wasn't shy ever, but I mean, I could be shy. Like, I never wanted to, like, be too much for anything.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, like, women are told that they shouldn't be too much for anything, and that, like, we should be quiet and, you know, not say too much and, like, be sort of, like, I don't know.
That's fair, because, like, assertive, I guess women, even nowadays, they're seen as more, I don't know what the word would be, but, like, I guess domineering.
Yeah, like, it's, like, it's a bad thing to be,
like, there's such a negative stigma associated with it.
Absolutely. And I think I was very fearful of that, especially growing up.
Yeah.
And so then whenever I got here and I found other, like, a lot of the women that I surround myself with that, like, are my very good friends are all very loud and opinionated, and, you know, like, we do not shy away from how we feel about stuff. Mm-hmm. And that was, like, huge for me to see that. And I mean, in high school I had that as well, but it was like, I was, like, mocked a bit for it, and then I got to college and I was celebrated for it. And that was huge. Like, that was huge for me. And then so becoming a filmmaker and, like, all of that, I feel like I have, like, found an area where I can sort of, like, I can say what I think about things and I can be respected for how I feel about them.
Yeah,
I've, like,
absolutely.
I think I never really thought that people, like, cared what I thought about stuff. I felt like I was always just sort of like, oh, like, you know, you can have your opinions and that's fine, but, like, you don't need to tell me about them. Like, your opinion doesn't really matter. And, like, I never had any say in anything. And, like, I always wanted a say, you know, like, I love to have a say in, like, how things go. And then Survivor really gave me that. And then making this movie, I had a say in everything. Like, I decided all that shit. And it was great. Like, it was, like, so fulfilling because I felt like my creative choices and my license and my opinion and my thoughts were valued and, like, really appreciated and really considered and really respected. And then I, like, feel like me and Mirabella, we worked together and, like, we created this thing that, like, people really like. Like, obviously it's not a masterpiece, but, like, it's the first time we made something, and, like, it's, like, something that we made and something that we worked really hard on, and I am really proud of it for that, because, like, it doesn't need to be, like, the greatest film on, it's not, like, fucking Citizen Kane, but it's but it's fun, and, like, people liked it, you know what I mean? And that was, like, the greatest thing ever. And people like Survivor, and people like, and, like, find joy in it and are entertained by it. And that means so much to me, you know what I mean? Like, I love that, like, what I have made has, like, you know, made people happy and, like, brought people joy, because that has always been my goal. And every single form of entertainment, why I fell in love with movies and TV and film and all of this, why I wanted to do it so badly, was I wanted to bring people the joy that I felt whenever I, like, consumed media whenever I was growing up. Because, like, life can be really hard and things can be really difficult, but, like, movies and TV, that's a world you can, like, escape into, and, like, you don't have to think about anything going on in your life. You can just, like, be entertained and, like, live in this world, whether it's on an island not eating and being starved and, like, being manipulative to other people, or, like, you know, a rom-com or anything, you know what I mean? Like, all of it is, like, something that you can sort of, like, be within, and, like, you don't have to think about your problems, and it's for, like, a little bit, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
and I love that escapism. That escapism, like, saved my life. So, like, I was, like, I am very, very grateful, and I think I've learned a lot about, like, how to be sure of myself and be confident in, like, what I think about stuff, and, like, know that, like, and also not, like, allow for people to say that my opinion doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
My opinion, obviously, like, my opinion isn't the only one that matters, and it shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, everybody should have creative input whenever it comes to, like, making a project like this. But, you know, I also should have a say in the things that, you know, count. You know what I mean? Like, especially if I want to be respected. So, yeah, speak out. Say what the fuck you want to say.
Exactly, yeah. And you're sort of like, I guess you're giving the world a taste of, like, who you are as a person. And so, you know, if people, like, see the value in you, then obviously they're, like, the right people for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And vice versa. So, you know, it's 100% true. You know, it's not really, you shouldn't feel the need to, I guess, suppress how you feel just for, like, other people's, I guess, validation.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. You should feel how you feel, you know what I mean? Everybody feels how they feel.
Exactly,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, because, like, if you don't express how you feel, then you're just kind of, like, hiding who you are.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's so boring. Like, you don't want to be, like, you don't want to be the person that nobody...
I was going to say that's, like, wrong, but I mean...
It's wrong as well.
Yeah,
it's wrong as well. It's wrong as well. And it's, like, but it's also just, like, you as a person, you hold so much more value whenever you are being yourself and whenever you're expressing how you feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you contribute so much more to the world whenever you let go of all the shame around, like, how you feel about stuff. Like, you can feel how you feel and you can say how you feel about things. And, like, if someone makes you feel bad about that, like, fuck them. You know what I mean?
They're
like,
not worth your time.
They're not worth your time. And, like, obviously, like, everybody... And, you know, sometimes people can, like, be, like... you know, hurt and upset for, like, things that, like, aren't as, you know, big of a deal as they you know, could be. But, like, that's why communication is also, like, really important. And that's another thing that I think I've learned a lot from both of these projects is, like, how fundamental and how key it is to communicate with people how you're feeling. Because I think if you don't have that line of communication, then, like, and you can't, like, you also have to, like, be a listener and, like, be, like, learning about the people around you always and, like, constantly be, like, aware of things, because you never want to step on anybody's toes because you're expressing your thoughts and feelings, but you also, like, don't want to feel like you can't say anything. So it is a balance, of course, but I think that balance is crucial. But I also think people should be able to feel how they would like to feel and express that, because it makes life more interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Again, interesting is it's one part of the equation, but yeah. But that being said, that just about kind of wraps things up. Thank you once again for taking the time to, I guess, be here. Before we officially sign off, though, I like to end my little interview sessions with little games. So,
Oh my God.
So that is what the elusive back of this page is for.
Oh my God.
So this is the Survivor Carolina Talk Show Rapid Fire Q&A Challenge.
Oh,
so
shit. Okay. Wait, let me log in.
Yeah, I gotta give you a second to process through it. So essentially how this works is I have a bunch of questions for you. They're kind of tailored to, I guess, who you are.
Okay.
And so your objective is very simple. I'm going to be setting a timer for 1 minute.
Oh, shit.
And you pretty much just got to answer as many questions as you can before the 1 minute timer goes up.
Oh, my God.
Now, I tell people that I was going to say it's not a competition, but it pretty much is.
It feels like a competition.
It is a competition, actually, because...
I'm racing against the clock.
Yeah, no, because the person actually, out of the 10 guests I've had, well, technically 11... the person who answers the most questions will actually get a little prize from me. And since you're the last person I'm interviewing this semester, you are the only person that could potentially break the record. So
who has the record?
So currently Jake and Merrick are tied for first place. I'm not going to say how many questions they got, but okay.
I can't let Jake win.
Yeah, you can't let Jake win. All right, I'm actually rooting for you. I really don't want Jake to win this.
Okay.
But
oh God. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess whenever you're ready, no pressure. But
okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Describe your Survivor experience in 3 words.
Fun, entertaining, difficult.
Okay. Most fun part of your job.
Talking to cast.
Okay. Favorite Survivor player.
On the show or on our show?
Just in general.
Sadie.
Okay. How often do you crash out on set?
Not that often.
Okay. How far do you think you'd make it on the actual show?
Literally first episode, I'm done.
Okay. Closest friend on production.
Jake, probably.
Okay. Dream twist.
Fuck, I don't know. Can I say I don't know?
Or we can skip it. Toughest challenge to film.
Oh my god, water challenge.
Water
Fuck that shit.
Describe Jake in 3 words.
Oh my god. Okay. Lovable asshole, conflict averse.
Okay. 2 starting tribes or 3? Which do you prefer?
2.
Okay. Funniest production moment.
Shit.
I'll give you the last one.
Okay, funniest production moment. Oh my god, there's so many, and I can't think of one specifically. The clock's done. I don't have to answer quickly. Okay. Jesus. Okay, I mean, there's the classic of us holding a seance in season 1 because we wanted this one person out. There's...
Okay, you know what? Since season 1 is out, who was the person, first of all, and when the fuck did you do a seance?
So, it was Dan.
It was Dan? Was it because of the fact that he kept, like,
so he
not showing up?
It was so... Yes, that is why. We were so frustrated with him because he, like, wasn't responding to messages. He wasn't showing up. He wasn't, like, present very much, like, at all. It was so fucking difficult. And that was like, and we were just so over him, and then nobody was targeting him, and he also wasn't doing anything in the game, so we were just like, can he please be voted out? And so we literally, like, we were so frustrated, we, like, poured, like, a beverage onto the sand, and we tried to light it on fire, but it was the sand, so it wouldn't work. And then we held hands.
Say, you need, like, gasoline for that shit.
We held hands and we hummed in fake Latin, and we were like, please vote out Dan, please vote out Dan. And then he didn't go home for another, like, 2 weeks. It was ridiculous. Yeah, so that was, like, hilarious and pretty iconic, I'd say. Also, I think the Rain Tribal, we did a tribal in the rain in season 2, and it wasn't funny, but it was. Like, I was cracking up.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
That entire time. I think, were you there?
I was not. I joined Final 13.
Okay, yeah. So
but I think I know which one you were talking about.
I think it was me, Jake was there, Faith was there, and then...
We can cut this part out if you want. Okay, so I guess now we'll count, sorry, I had a little side tangent there, but, yeah, so you've got 11 questions, because I'm also giving you that last, prod moment question, and so that means you have officially won.
Let's go! Oh my god!
Nathan and Merrick both tied at 10 questions, so you got one fucking question
we're
above.
So up.
I'm so fucking happy.
So up.
Let's
go.
Fucking happy that
Fuck
Jake.
Jake. I'm just kidding. I love Jake.
You have no idea how happy I am that fucking Jake didn't win.
1, 2, 3.
I printed out 11 questions because I didn't know how fast you were going to go through them, and you answered all 11 of them.
We're literally so up. We're so up.
Oh my god, I'm actually giddy right now. I'm so
alive.
fucking happy.
What a time to be alive.
Exactly. Anyway, with that being said, though, that officially wraps things up for our final episode of the season. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the episode as always. Just be sure to follow us on Instagram. It's just Survivor Carolina. We have our link tree there with all of our information. You can also check out the YouTube channel for the talk show because we have all of our fully uploaded episodes there.
Woohoo.
All this shit you see here is what you're going to see on our YouTube channel. And yeah, I guess for the last time this season, I've been your host, Mihir. It's been a wild ride, but I hope to see you guys soon.